Hey, what's up? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a TBR video, but I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently than how I normally do it. So I have a little TBR jar here that I wrote a whole bunch of prompts on. I don't know exactly how many that I wrote, but I did write a lot, and I think that I'm going to choose about 5 or 6 or so prompts on here. Just get like a basic TBR going, because then I film obviously videos within the month based off of this TBR, so we'll see how this goes. But I have my whole TBR cart here. You can like kind of see it. There is another tier here, and then there are some like summary books on the bottom. I feel like I really want to clean this and go through it, but it's such a wreck. So let's get into it. Let's pull some of these things out and let's get going. Oh, I didn't say this. I mean, it's in the title, but whatever. It's for my May TBR. I'm just getting out of the slump, so I figured, you know what, let's try something different, let's try something new, and let's break up the wrap-up from the TBR video and see how that goes. I think that reading my physical TBR and kind of reading things that I'm not choosing maybe could help me with my slump. I don't know. I'm crazy, but let's get into the video. So I wrote all these prompts today. Let's shake it. Is it even gonna shake? Do you think they're moving? Anyway, okay, let's go. I have a lot on here. Let's choose this one. The shortest book on my TBR. Oh gosh, I don't know what the shortest book is. Obviously, can't be first in a series. Rock, paper, or I mean, it can't be second in a series. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, rock, paper, scissors is $2.91. That's the book club read for the month, so you can't see that. Oh, so far that's it. I feel like we got our book, but if I don't check, I'm gonna probably regret it. Alright, first book on the TBR this month is A Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This one follows the Griffins and Gallows. They've been battling for control of Chicago's underworld for generations. Their rivalry has always been flammable, but it reignites with a fury when Ada, the youngest and wildest Gallows sibling, crashes a party at the Griffin mansion and accidentally sets fire to the library. To stave off all-out war, her father quickly arranges a marriage between her and Callum Griffin, eldest son and heir to the Irish Mafia. Cold, ambitious, and brutal, Callum is determined to tame his headstrong new bride, but Ada is more than capable of giving as good as she gets, starting with poisoning Callum on their wedding night. The problem is, murdering him would be a lot easier if he didn't look so good while he was trying to do so. She's got a lockbox around her heart. He's got something to prove. In their struggle for dominance, who will go up in flames first? I got this book for my birthday from Justin Camp, I believe. Yes, I believe I got that. So there you go. That's number 1. I'm really excited for that one. I don't know why I wasn't choosing it, but I just didn't pick it up this month. So, oh my gosh, wait. I forgot books for my TBR. I brought 2 more books that were on my TBR during April that I didn't read, and they're just on the top there, but neither one of them are short enough. Okay, next. A sports romance. Yes. Now this one I am so excited for. Okay, none of you are sports romance. Let's go on. I have Pucking Around. I think that is it as far as sports romance. Okay, that is my only sports romance, so I'm glad that I'm excited to read it. But I got this in my birthday book haul. So this one is a spicy, best-selling TikTok hockey romance series debut. It's about an ambitious woman scores a major career goal, but when it comes to all options in her personal life, why choose? So I didn't realize that it was a why choose romance when I picked it up, but like, whatever, we're expanding the palette here. So it's Rachel Price, and 2 months ago she walked away from the perfect man, sweet, funny, and so sexy he should be illegal. They shared one magical night, no names, no strings, and she never thought she'd see him again, but she was wrong. As it turns out, Mr. Perfect is a playboy grinder for the Jacksonville Rays, the NHL's hottest new hockey team, and thanks to the 10-month fellowship I just landed, I'm his new physical therapist. Imagine my anticipation as those familiar muscular legs walks toward me, the way my pulse races as he reaches out to shake my hand. The jerk doesn't even recognize me. This is going to be the longest 10 months of my life, because now Mr. Perfect's mistake is determined to use his every seductive trick to win me back. Meanwhile, I also have to contend with his best friend, the surly team equipment manager, and an exasperately stubborn, superstitious goalie who's convinced I'm his good luck charm. This is my chance to prove myself, and I'm not risking it for anything. But between one unexpected night and one secret revealed, these men are ready to test all my limits. Still, I can't fall for a player, let alone 3. Or can I? That's gonna be... This video is starting off, like, insane. Are you kidding? Okay. There's 2 down. Let's keep going. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. A book with a one-word title. Do I have one? Oh, I totally do. Okay, so we have Lotus. Oh. I could read... We also have Wildfire. I have You. Hopeless, which is the next book in the series that I'm trying to finish. Or... I'm twisting this card all around. Or I have Powerless. Okay, so Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Hopeless by Elsie Silver, which I'm trying to finish the series. You by Caroline Kepnes. Wildfire by Hannah Grace, which was on my TBR last month that I didn't get to. Or Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. This is an option here. Do I want to start a series or do I want to finish one? Or do I want to save this because I know there's a thing in there that is for the next in a series, but what if I don't get that? Honestly, what I'm being drawn to is You. So I think I'm going to read this. If you don't know, it's a TV show. It's about, like, he's a stalker. A beautiful, aspiring writer strides into the East Village bookstore where Joe Goldberg works. He does what anyone would do. He Googles a name on the credit card. There's only one Guinevere Beck in New York City. She has a public Facebook account and tweets incessantly, telling Joe everything he needs to know. She is simply Beck to her friends. She went to Brown University, she lives on Bank Street, and she'll at a bar in Brooklyn tonight. The perfect place for a chance meeting. As Joe invisibly and obsessively take control of Beck's life, he begins quietly removing the obstacles that stands in their way. Joe will do anything to ensure Beck finds herself in his waiting arms, even if it means murder. I'm really drawn to this. It's been on my TBR for a while, so I think that I'm going to choose this one. We're going to just put these all on the side, and I am going to just rearrange this later. Okay, next. I'm so scared. Okay, the longest book. Why? How would I know? How would I know? Okay, the longest book. Okay, I think that this is this. Without a doubt. It's going to be Bad Reputation by Krista. The Bad Reputation by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is Willow and Garrison Abbey, yeah. So everyone knows the Hales, mega rich and salaciously famous. No one knows shy, quiet Willow more. Until she makes one daring move that changes her world forever. At 17, Willow moves across the country to connect with her famous older brother, Lauren Hale. Before she can even say hello, she runs into the teenager who's been vandalizing Lauren's house with his group of delinquent friends. Garrison Abbey is off limits, as decreed by her very protective older brother. But if he's so awful, then why is he so friendly towards her? Willow can't help but be drawn to the mysterious boy next door. He has a bad reputation. She's yet to carve. I felt like that was wrong, that's why I stopped. She's yet to carve one of her own. The more their paths cross... Why can't I talk today? The more their paths cross, the more Willow realizes maybe, just maybe, they're exactly what each other needs. And I've been putting this one off for so long because I just don't want the world to be over. And I know that I'd read, obviously, the Addicted Calloway Sister series. I didn't read the Like Us series, and I know that that's a thing. But I just feel like them, like, I just want to keep them, like, preserved. I just don't want to finish it. And I know the Cobalt series is coming out, but I can't do it. So, this is the longest book on my TBR. It's, like, almost 800 pages or something. Or 7. That's 700 pages. So I think that's definitely the longest. I don't think Fourth Wing is that long, so I think I'm safe there. So that's 4. Okay, let's keep going. The book that's been on my TBR for the longest time. Ugh, I know what book this is. The book that has been on my TBR cart for so long, and I just haven't picked it up, is Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. I got this, like, almost 3 years ago or something like that. Like, literally, very, very long time ago. And I just haven't picked it up. Just everything has been... I've just wanted to read other things more, so I just haven't touched this one. This one says, can these opposites turn up the heat without burning down the house? House-flipping sensation and YouTuber star Why Can't I Talk? House-flipping sensation and YouTube star Maggie Nichols can't wait to dig into her next challenge. Arriving in tiny Kinship, Idaho, with only a cot and a coffee maker, Maggie is prepared to restore a crumbling Victorian mansion in 4 months or less. She has her to-do list, her blueprints, and her team. What she doesn't have is time for a sexy, laid-back landscaper, Silas Wright. The man takes flirtation to a whole new level, and he does it shirtless, sometimes pantsless. He and his service school dropout dog are impressively persistent, but she's not interested in putting down roots, not when fans tune in to watch her travel the country turning dilapidated houses into dream homes. A short-term fling, on the other hand, could fit nicely into her calendar. After all, Maggie remembers what fun is like, vaguely. As her summer gets downright steamy, Silas manages to demolish the emotional walls she spent years building, sending Maggie into a panic. He's the wrench in her carefully constructed plans. At the end of the project looming, she has a decision to make. But how can she stay when her entire career is built on moving on? So I know that this has been on my TBR for the longest. I'm not even going to pretend like it hasn't and try and read something else. But I want to go for one more and see if I can get like a really good one. I'm going to regret this. I'm so going to regret this. Okay. Oh, it's a long one. A book with a person on the cover. Do I even have that? A book with a person on the cover. Okay, not a person. Not a person. Not a person. That count as a person? Or do I dive into the summer books? This is the only book with like an actual full person on it, so I kind of feel like I have to read this one. But it's The Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy. I think this continues on with that. I don't know what it's called. It's just her summer series, but Avalon Bay novel. It says college student Cassie, I'm going to call her Cassie. Cassie's soul hasn't spent an entire summer in Avalon Bay in years, not since her parents divorced and her mother spitefully whisked her away to Boston. Now that her grandmother is selling the Boardwalk Hotel that's been in their family for 5 decades, Cassie returns to the quaint beach town to spend time with family, ring in her 21st birthday, and maybe find herself a summer fling. On her first night in town, she finds the perfect candidate. Tate Bartlett, Avalon's Bay fun-loving golden boy. Tate, sailing instructor and lovable player, is no stranger to flings. In fact, he's always down for a good time. But the moment he meets Cassie, he knows she's not the girl you play games with. Cassie is gorgeous, hilarious, and frankly the coolest person he's ever met. The last thing he wants to do is risk breaking her heart, and so he reluctantly puts her in the friend zone, only to realize he's made a huge mistake. Soon, his attraction to Cassie becomes impossible to ignore. As Cassie and Tate walk the line between friends and lovers, they're about to discover that their situation is the least complicated part of the equation, because Avalon Bay is full of secrets, and the relationship might not survive when those secrets come to light. Okay. I think that's it. I think I'm only going to choose, I chose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, so, like, that's not, like, that's it. But I also have books that I read just because I want to read them, and also I do have my book club read for the month. So, this is, the TBR is TBR, like, it's big. It's a big TBR. These are what's left. I feel like I got, like, the crazy ones. But here's the TBR for the month based off of this. Obviously, I'm not including my book club read for the month, but those are books. Like, those are, like, books. Again, just to recap, it's A Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy. Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. The giant book, Bad Reputation by Krista and Becca Ritchie. You by Caroline Kepnes. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. And Pucking Around by Emily Rath. Now, that's, like, a wide, like, array. I think, like, a lot of them are, like, romancy, but, like, I feel like they're all so different. So, that's, like, that's a TBR, that's a TBR. So, you know what? I'm okay with that. I know that it's a lot. And, like, this book makes me want to throw up. As does this book. Like, wait. Which one's longer? That one's, like, almost 700. Oh, yeah. Bad Reputation is longer. But, like, are you kidding? Like, look at those books. And obviously, I do have books on my TBR, like, how I chose this one as my longest. Like, the longest book on my TBR is not this one. It's definitely one of the Throne of Glass books, but I can't read that because I can't get to those. So I have a lot of series on my cart right now, so I felt like a lot of them were, like, kind of pushed out of the way and you couldn't really pick them, but it is what it is. So that is the very crazy, ambitious, insane TBR for the month. I really hope you enjoyed this. This was a really fun way to do it. I'm going to see how I stick to it throughout the month, and then that will make me decide if I'm going to do this next month. But this was a really fun way to pick out the TBR, and it's something different and something that I think will help me get through my TBR cart faster. I'm really trying to read all the physical books that I have, and stuff like that. So I think I'm pretty good normally on sticking to my TBR and what I choose for myself for the month. So I think that this will be really good. I'm really excited. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!